Namaste everyone, my name is Kimberly. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to do a short classic Hatha Yoga sequence to work on strength, flexibility, and balance. You may want a blanket or a towel close by, as well as a block or a large book. We're going to begin sitting on your heels. If for some reason you're unable to sit all the way down on your heels, it's completely okay for you to be up on your knees. You might want your blanket or your towel underneath your knees for a little bit of extra cushioning. Come into this position with your hands in prayer. Roll your shoulders back, close your eyes. Pull your navel in and lift the stomach muscles up under the ribs. Elongate the spine so that the top of your head is reaching up towards the ceiling. And use this time to come into yourself, to set your intentions. You've set aside this time to practice yoga. So do the best you can to clear your thoughts and focus solely on what your body experiences here and now. And start focusing on your breath. If possible, breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Equal deep inhalation as exhalation. Think ocean wave movement as you breathe. Just as waves roll slowly in towards the shore, and they roll equally as slowly back out to sea, your breath should follow this memento. As other thoughts begin to come to mind, constantly take yourself back to your breath. And now we're ready to begin our yoga practice. On an inhalation, come all the way up on your knees if you're not already there, and stretch your hands up towards the sky and look up. On an exhalation, hands come back down and onto the floor. Elbows hug into the body and stretch out onto the floor gently. On an inhalation, lift the upper body up into cobra. On an exhalation, back up onto all fours and your buttocks as close to your heels as possible. On an inhalation, repeat. Come all the way up. Maybe you can press your hips more forward and your hands go more back. Exhale. Onto all fours. Slowly get your upper body down onto the floor. Elbows are hugged into the body. On an inhalation, lift the chest and the shoulders. We're not using our hands. Exhalation, back into child's pose or as close as you can get to it. Inhale, come up again, firm belly. Hips forward, heart stretches up to the sky, your hands are falling even more back. And on an exhalation, your hands are back onto the floor. Hug your elbows into your body as you come all the way down with the upper body. On an inhalation, up with the shoulders and the chest and the head. Exhale, back into child's pose. Inhale, exhale. Next inhalation, come up on all fours, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, lots of space between the fingers, and start drawing a big circle with your hips. And if it feels good, add to that movement the spine, followed by the shoulders, followed by the neck and the head, and take these movements as large or as small, or as fast or as slow that your body sees fit. Remember the navel's pulled in, opposite direction. You might be noticing sounds coming from the vertebrae or the hips or in the neck. Straighten out the spine, press the shoulders away from the ears, balls of the feet are on the floor now, and lift your knees up. Lift your knees up. Notice that you have a lot of space between your fingers on an exhalation, knees back on the floor. And slowly work yourself up into squat position. So your feet are on the floor and your hands are in prayer. Elbows between the knees. Use your elbows to open the knees apart and place your hands on the floor. Lots of space between the fingers, and start rocking a little bit forward. Some of us need to be focusing on gaining flexibility in our wrists as well as strength in our wrists. Some of us, this is plenty to work on, and if you need to remain here, just stay here and keep rocking back and forth. Rock only as much forward as your body says yes. Don't overpress and don't overstress. Some of us are a little stronger and we're ready to go deeper. I want those people to have your knees on the armpits, right underneath the armpits or inside the armpits. Look forward, come up on the toes, and start rocking forward. You can bend your elbows a little bit and start placing more weight from your body onto the elbows, onto the wrists, onto the hands. If you've got more to give, stay in one place without rocking and start practicing on lifting one foot, then sit it down. Lift the other foot, sit it down. Eventually lift both feet, big toes together, and start working on straightening out your elbows. Fill your lungs, empty your lungs, exhale, come down for a rest. Inhale, exhale. Hands are on the floor now. Slowly lift the buttocks up, feet together. Grab your elbows and let the upper body fold forward, completely relaxed. If there's a small bend in your knees, that's okay. Pull the belly in, relax the neck. Fill your lungs, empty your lungs. Remain focused on the breath. Firm belly to support the spine. Slowly roll up. If you need to use your hands on your legs to support yourself up, that's okay. We're going to work on a balance now. So you might want to have a block or a book standing in front of you. You could also use a kitchen pot. And inhale, lift the right leg up, hands are in prayer. Just a simple balance. If you need to keep your toes on the floor, that's okay. Maybe you can only lift your toes up a little bit. After a while, try to get the thigh parallel to the floor and flex the foot. Elongate the spine, and secret here, focus is on the foot that's on the floor. Make sure that foot is grounded. Now, next step, begin folding forward. So now the right knee is pointing to the floor. Arms out to side, and start extending the foot behind you. Flex the foot that's in the air so that the toes are pointing down to the floor. Eventually work on getting both hands down onto the floor or on your block. From here, open the hip towards the sky. The right hip opens up towards the ceiling. The right arm goes up towards the ceiling, and the secret here is the less weight you have on the floor or on the block, the easier this pose is. Eventually, you want to look up at the hand towards the ceiling, and on exhalation, come back down with both hands, both feet. Slowly, with a firm belly, roll all the way up. Hands are in prayer. A little rest. Inhale and exhale. Now, strength, flexibility, and balance. Use it or lose it. That's what we constantly repeat in yoga. Good news is, when we start using it again, everything comes back. Balance, strength, and flexibility will come back. But you can't just think about it. You have to actually do it. Plus, our bodies are changing every single day. It's a completely different body that comes to the yoga mat every single day. Some days I cannot stand on 2 feet. Other days I surprise myself over how good my balance is. So if you're having a tough balance day, don't beat yourself up. You're completely normal. Often when we're struggling with balance, it's because we're lacking hydration. So when you find a day that you're struggling with balance on the yoga mat, always ask yourself, why am I struggling more today than yesterday? Try to solve these little problems that keep coming to our mind because our bodies want to be healthy. Your body is constantly giving you a small message of what it needs. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Left side. So, hands are in prayer. Lift the left foot up. Focus on your foundation foot. Notice that you've got equal amount of weight on the big toe as on the little toe. The knuckles right below the big toe and right below the little toe, the bunions, if you will. Press those firmly to the floor. At the same time, lift the body up. And when you've found your balance, begin folding forward. You can use your arms out to the side if that helps you. Elongate the leg out and think. Press the leg, extend the leg out from the hip, extend both arms out from the shoulders. Make the letter T with your body if possible. And then fingers on the floor or on your block. The less weight on the block or on the floor, the better your balance is going to be. You want your weight in the leg and the foot. Begin opening the hip, the arm to the sky, and eventually look up towards the hand in the sky. This is a really difficult balance pose. So don't beat yourself up. If you're struggling with it, just practice it. The more we practice, the better we get at things. Now, right foot forward. Left knee is on the yoga mat, and again, you might want to have a blanket or a towel under that knee. Stretch forward. This is a good runner stretch. And notice that my right knee is beyond my toes. It's not on top of the ankle. And we're looking for this stretch right here in the hip flexor. Fill your lungs, empty your lungs. Focus on the breath. Elongate the spine, pull the belly in. Both hands on the floor, one hand on each side of your foot. Knee goes towards your forehead, forehead to knee. Left foot, ball of the foot's on the floor, and begin standing up. Try to straighten out the leg and keep the forehead as close to the knee as possible. Bend the knee again. Look forward. Now, on an inhalation, lift the upper body up. Come up on an inhalation again. Rotate the body to the other side. Right knee down on the floor. Make sure the left knee is beyond the toes. Fill your lungs in, empty your lungs. Really focus on this stretch of the hip flexor. My Ashtangis that are really working on back bends. This is one of the main stopping points that's preventing us from getting into a deeper back bend. The hip flexor, a lot of times, is more so the shoulders and the hips than it is the back. And both hands on the floor, one hand on each side of the knee, forehead to the knee, ball of the right foot on the floor. Inhale, lift the right knee, straighten out the leg. Don't worry if you can't straighten your leg all the way. Don't worry if your forehead is not touching your knee. Just do the best that you can and be satisfied with what you can do today. And bend the left knee. Come up on the ball of the right foot. On an inhalation, lift the upper body up. Next inhalation, come all the way up to standing and down to sitting. Lie down. Take your rest. Have a a good day, everyone. Namaste.